Welcome back to another episode of On a Mission. I'm your host, Dr. Wendy Norfleet with Norfleet Integrated Solutions, and it is my pleasure to have with me today Kierra McCray with Kultivate Strategies. Welcome, Kierra.
Thank you so much, Dr. Norfleet.
So, and you can call me Wendy.
Okay.
And so, tell me a little bit about yourself, Kierra.
All right, so I am a resident and native of Jacksonville, Florida.
Okay.
I had the opportunity to graduate from Bethune-Cookman University in Daytona Beach, Florida. Recently received my Master's of Higher Education Administration from UNF. And I'm
Congratulations.
Thank you. Had the opportunity to win the Humanitarian Award and also a member of Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated.
Okay, so that explains the pink.
Yeah.
Okay, pink and green. Now that little screeching noise y'all make.
Yeah. Yes.
So, yeah, that's great. I have quite a few friends that are in that sorority.
Sorority,
so, yeah. So, you did all this, and you got your accolades, and you also started a business. And
Yes.
so, before I talk about your business, what made you want to start a business?
So I always was told that I needed to start a business,
Okay.
and I constantly got fired from jobs, like transparently. And so I was like, this time I got laid off. When I got laid off, I was like, okay, I'm going to take this leap, and I'm going to start this business because I know that I have the capability and the skills to be able to run an effective business.
Okay, that's great. And I work with a lot of business owners, and so it's always interesting to hear their story, why they started the business.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about Kultivate Strategies.
So Kultivate Strategies is a small boutique consulting firm where we have the opportunity to specialize in three things, which is program management, helping nonprofits and or universities build their programs, ensure that they have the desired outcomes. Also, we work with doing consulting strategies for social impact work, whether it's political engagement, whether there is like values within companies, building purpose and missions, ensuring that they're doing corporate responsibility, and just ensuring that we get the metrics and the sustainability of the project it is that they're trying to map out. It is our job to come in and to say, okay, this is what's happening, but we need to build like corporate responsibility and programs and outcomes. And so we come up with the strategy part of it. And then the third tenet is that we focus on is education. I am a guru for research and education, so that is also another niche that we added to it that is kind of like my passion area.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when you talk about education as far as research, is it to build it out? Is it for give me an example, because there's so many different aspects of research and education. Right?
So one thing that I'm working on with a partner of mine, the Stanton Collective, is we're working on a really big project of helping educators produce their stories with qualitative data, with taking their stories, taking their vulnerabilities, and having the research to come into it so that we can build better programs within schools, whether it is for teachers to have better professional development, whether it's for teachers to be able to have like a safe space, because children have telehealth all the time in schools, but I think that teachers need that too. And so just having the research to be able to push this and advocate for that so that teachers can have that. But also we are in the process of wanting to start a podcast to bring in former educators, legislators around education, and to have one big conversation so that we are tackling mental health disparities, but also building better programmatic efforts within education.
Okay. And so I'm glad you include mental health in there, because I know with COVID, thankfully, it has stopped being such a taboo subject,
right?
Especially in the African American community.
Yes.
Because we do need to talk about it, and it exists. A lot of people know my story, but I adopted my daughters, and they were from, especially they were 9 months and 6 years old when I adopted them. And so my 6-year-old, I had to put her in therapy. This was way before COVID.
Yes.
And, people were looking at me, and my community was like, why are you putting her in there? I said, because she had trauma.
Yeah.
And she needs to deal with it.
Right.
But it was just funny. It was stigmatized. And now I see a lot of that's leaving with COVID.
And it definitely is. And what I'm realizing is through some of the research that we've done in our higher education program, with not just professors, but also teachers, is that teachers not only take on the responsibility of trauma within their students, but they also go back to trauma in their lives. So it's like pretty much how do we bridge that gap with providing resources, tools, but also like just the research to have like that, so that we're pushing policy and legislators to be able to create new policies within the school districts.
And then you touched on another subject that's really a passion of mine, is social responsibility.
Yes.
Or corporate responsibility.
Yes.
Because a lot of times, people are all about making money, but if you don't give back, then you're not really socially responsible.
Right.
And so and the give back can take different forms, but you need to have some type of give back. Mm-hmm. And I noticed that, especially under 30, they're looking at companies that are saying, okay, what are you doing to help
give
society?
Back, right. So so that is something I'm deeply passionate about, because it also teaches about company values and what do they value. And a lot of millennials, which is like that 30 to 40 age gap, is really talking about like, okay, so if this company isn't giving back, we're not seeing their values, we're not seeing their mission and their purpose and so what a lot of millennials are starting businesses, or they're attaching themselves to companies that have that. Right. So that is just like one thing that we really specialize in, is just ensuring that we also create strategic partnerships for companies too. So
okay,
yeah.
So I know you do a lot of stuff around the community, but what is the thing that you're most proud of?
The thing that I'm most proud of is win the humanitarian award, because to me it signifies like the work that I've done with Title I schools, which is like the John Reed Pauls and the Northwesterns and things, but really teaching those young ladies etiquette, how to have self-esteem, self-care, but also getting most of them to college.
Okay, that is great.
Yes.
And what a great note to leave it on.
Yeah.
So I am so happy you came on to talk to me, and I just wish you all the success in the world.
Thank you so much, Wendy.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Please check out Kultivate Strategies, and I'll see you next time on Buzz TV.